Good morning, everyone. Hope you're well. And just a reminder, we'll be meeting midweek tomorrow night, 7:30. Link is in the newsletter. We'll send it out by WhatsApp as well, on Zoom, obviously. So please do join us 7:30 Wednesday night on Zoom for that. It'd be great to see you there. We're continuing looking through Mark's Gospel, and what I want to read to you this morning, or the passage that we're reading to you this morning from the end of Mark chapter 4, is almost certainly the incident in Jesus' life which probably for most people at least, speaks into our times right now, what we're going through, what we're all going through at the moment. So Mark chapter 4, and beginning at verse 35. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let's go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was. And other boats were with him, and a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we're perishing?" And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" All of us, every one of us this last year have been enduring a storm. In normal times, more normal times, we get to experience periods of calm, and somebody else is going through the storm and we can support them as they're going through it. But we're all going through the storm at the moment. Some of us are facing additional storms, additional problems of ill health, or looking after elderly relatives, or whatever it might be. But we're all going through this storm of a pandemic that came, it seems, out of nowhere this time last year. And there are times, if we're honest, when we feel like we're about to be overwhelmed, when we feel like the boat is filling up with water faster than we can bail it out. That's how we feel. And perhaps, like the disciples in the boat in this instance, we've found ourselves crying out to Jesus, "Don't you care? Don't you care about what we're going through? Don't you care that we are drowning here? We're struggling here. Don't you care, Jesus? We're barely holding on here. Do you not see what we're going through, what we're all going through? Don't you care?" And we'll ask ourselves the question, where is Jesus in the midst of all this? And as the disciples in the passage ask themselves the question, where is Jesus in this? Where is he? Well, he's right there with you. He was right there with the disciples. He was asleep in the stern of the boat, but he was with them. He was with them in the middle of the storm. He was going through it with them. Why can we trust him in the middle of the storm, in the middle of all that we're going through? Because he's in control. He knows what's happening. He knows what's going on. He knew what was going on that day in the boat. He knows what's going on now in our lives and in this whole situation. We can trust him because he knows what's going on, because ultimately he's in control, as he demonstrated when he stood up and he told the wind and the waves to be still. at the beginning of that passage, it's Jesus who suggests the journey. Let's go over to the other side. He knows the storm is coming, but he suggests the journey anyway. Jesus knows the future. This time last year, when none of us knew what 2020 was going to bring, he knew. He knew it all. And he has walked with us through it, and he continues to walk with us through it. He suggests the journey to the disciples, and then as they go across the lake, he promptly goes to sleep in the back of the boat. He does that not because he doesn't care, but because he knows that he's in control and that this storm will pass. And he speaks into the storm, and when he speaks, the storm is stilled. So whatever your life is feeling like today, whatever turmoil, fresh turmoil the pandemic might throw your way today, or other things might throw your way today, know that he knows what you're going through. He is in control. And when you listen to his voice, the turmoil and the stress and the strain and the pressure can be lifted. So listen for his voice today. Help him to speak his stillness, his calm, his reassurance into your life. He has those words for you today. Listen to him. God bless.